views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the individuals participating in the show. All persons described or mentioned in the podcast should be considered innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. This podcast contains subject matter such as violence and graphic descriptions along with adult language, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
It's the Mysterious Brews 2023 End of the Year Spectacular. Or just two rednecks bullshitting on stuff they covered this year. Either way, we hope you enjoy.
Welcome to a deep, dark, dank, moist, frigid-ass snow flurry basement somewhere in the bowels of Georgia.
I haven't been. Is it cold outside? I haven't been outside yet,
dude.
I
have bought myself a very nice sweatshirt to hunt in, and it's got like high pile polar fleece. You can't wear that son of a bitch indoors without sweating. I have worn it all day long. That's how cold it is outside.
Yeah, my girlfriend wanted me to take the dogs out earlier, and I pretended to be asleep.
Oh, damn. We've all done that. We've all done that.
She's like, hey, they need to go pee. Will you take them out? And I'm like, she's like, I know you're not asleep. I'm like,
so before I forget, somebody, it may have been on our group page, which, y'all, if you're listening to this and you're a member of the group page, or if you're thinking about becoming a member of the group page, please understand, if you do not see it from an admin, that shit ain't real. We had another, I don't know, troll get on there today and said they were going to boot inactive members, and active members click on this link for a Mysterious Brews t-shirt order. We have a shop set up for that. Shout out to Heater for ordering his cousin a sweatshirt during the holidays. Somehow he waited to the very last second. It got made, shipped, and delivered before Christmas. Shout out to Heater. We also have a super fan that I wanted to shout out, and I have not told Coach, so we'll get his genuine reaction live and on air. And that is, a week ago, and we're recording on a Friday, so Saturday before Christmas, so Christmas Eve, one Kaylee Rollins Venmo'd us $50 and said, Merry Christmas. Here's a drink or two for you and Coach. Y'all are very much appreciated.
You did not Venmo me my half, bro.
You're right. I didn't know if you had Venmo, but I will Venmo your half. But I think I'm not going to Venmo your half because you're keeping my whiskey bottle from Loomy Joe hostage.
I just haven't seen you.
I also still have 2 Christmas IPAs for you from the OGs in Kansas City. And I hate to inform you, the hot, sweet barbecue sauce they sent, I think my son drank it over Christmas. But you can order it off of Amazon because he found it.
No, I will not.
So, shout out. I did in honor. It's not as good. I can promise you it's not as good. But I did smoke a brisket over for Christmas. I did traditional Texas style, salt and pepper only, slow and low. She went for like 16 hours. Melt in your mouth, man. Melt in your mouth. Also smoked 2 10-pound pork butts. They were very delicious too. So we had us a barbecue Christmas. And we'll close out this episode. I was thinking about this and hadn't said anything to you because we don't plan shit around here. We'll close out with our top 5 favorite Christmas meals / sides. So you have that to look forward to, ladies and gents.
Christmas meals?
Yeah, like, are you a traditional guy that needs turkey and ham and dressing and stuffing and all that stuff? Are you non-traditional and you want steak, baked potato, spaghetti, something like crazy like that?
Oh, okay.
Because there's some very crazy people out there, like myself. All right, so we wanted to close out the year with a basically off-the-cuff ad-lib episode, kind of highlighting some of the cases that have gotten some traction that we have either covered or we're looking to cover. And we wanted to start it off with our infamous Billie Jean case. About every 4 to 6 weeks, we get an email, mysteriousbrews@gmail.com, and it's someone that's just found our episode on her, and they follow it up with our corrected episode where we didn't set out to be disrespectful, but it came across as disrespectful in our first episode. So we kind of corrected some things in that second episode. We have had a couple of distant family members contact us that want to remain anonymous, that have talked about how she was more than what was in the papers and what has been portrayed online. But we would love to do an episode on Sheriff Baker. However, he still has a death grip on that county from the grave. We can't find anybody to speak to us off the record, on the record, anything. Now, we've got some Arkansas natives that have some Sheriff Baker stories that they've had some interactions with him, or had some interactions with him while he was still alive. There's also the book, When Money Grew on Trees, that kind of documents that whole situation and what is alluded to in that book. But, I mean, he is man, myth, legend when it comes to still controlling things in that county.
It's crazy how no one will talk. It's like how are you still scared of a dead man?
Well, and they said there's still
how are you still scared of him?
People driving around with bumper stickers that says Ralph cares, and that was his, Ralph Baker when he would run for re-election. He that's how he kept his I guess elected office for so long, is your average everyday hardworking people of that county were taken care of. If you had a problem, you could rest assured that if you contacted Sheriff Baker, he would get to the bottom of it, and it wouldn't happen again. Now, how he dealt with that, you might need to turn a blind eye to, but if you were ever having some problems, he made sure his constituents were taken care of. I don't fault people for still supporting him, but we're going on 30 years almost since he passed away.
The truth has got to come out at some point, but the man's got a book written about him and the corruption, and we would like to get to the bottom of it, but we also would like some, people that knew it, people that went through it. But everyone we've talked to is like, oh yeah, he was terrible, but we're not going to talk about it.
Yeah. And we can still, the offer still stands. You can be anonymous. We can come up with, ghostwriter names, whatever we need to do to get you or get your story out. And we don't have to go into the gory details where someone's like, man, I know who that is. So we don't have to worry about that, but we would love to do an episode on him. There's some cases going on in that county right now that we may touch on. Some weird stuff still going on out in Arkansas. Staying in the great state of Arkansas, we have Rebecca Gould. Our great friend Jennifer Buchholz has conducted another jailhouse interview with the POS that has been convicted of killing her. She is going to release those, I think, in segments on her YouTube channel.
It's pretty crazy. This is one of the one cases that we covered that's officially been solved since we did it. Zeb Quinn is pretty much solved if you believe what Robert Owen says. It was his uncle, but his uncle's dead. There's no justice, but no convictions of that.
Well, and the thing with Rebecca Gould is there's two camps. Either your camp, Dr. Gould and Miss Buchholz and ourselves were in that camp. where we believe that he may, I'd say there's a 90% chance that he actually murdered her. However, there's a 10% chance he was not alone or he was asked to do something. And so we're not accusing anybody of anything, but that's our camp. The other camp is he did it.
Here's the thing, though.
Case closed.
Here's the thing, though. If I'm going to be convicted of a murder, at that point, it doesn't matter if I talk or not. You know, I'm going to go to jail for the rest of my life, possibly the death penalty. I'm going to use whatever I can to make my life a little better. Maybe I don't want to go to the prison they're sending me to. Maybe I want to go to, you know, a lesser, you know, a nicer prison, something with a little bit of amenities or something. I'm going to talk at that point. If he was alone, if he was not alone, and the fact that he won't rat still is pretty amazing to me.
I agree. And there's some other things. We didn't get to take our annual trip to Batesville this year to visit the Heartlines due to some work schedules, and then the fact that Honda USA can't get their shit together with a safety recall on the fuel injectors. They can't, man. Like, it's been 6 weeks since basically we had a check engine light come in on my wife's Honda Pilot and take it in, and the fuel injectors are bad. And so it's not a recall officially, it's a safety notice. But basically you take it in, if it pops the code that says the fuel injectors are bad, Honda replaces it for free. Well, they're on back order. And the guy,
no wonder they're not in a hurry if they're on the hook for it.
And we've been getting run around every week we call. So the parts were ordered. The parts are coming in. They're shipping. No, they're not shipping. I have 10 sets on back order. You know, it's just bullshit. But anyway, so going back to my original point, Batesville, I wanted to, and Richie had said that we were going to kind of redo the route up there. There's some things that we covered in our episode and subsequent episodes about Rebecca's case, and I really wanted to do kind of like a video blog of, all right, so here's the store, here's the Sonic, and then kind of get as close as we can. And Jennifer did that in her original write-up for AMU when they covered it. It was a 6 or 7 part article series, and that's what we leaned on when we did our original episode, and she's been gracious enough to help us out anytime we ask.
She's wonderful, man.
Yeah, and her husband Jesse is hilarious too, man. So hopefully we can get, me and you can get to.
Well, the fact that she's in a position to help us, but doesn't need to help us, but still does, is pretty amazing.
As my granddaddy said, she's good folk.
Oh yeah, I mean she's on TV, she's interviewing killers, she's doing all kinds of stuff. She's writing books, she's this, that, and the other.
And then she's talking to 2 dumbasses from Georgia.
Yeah, she's been on our show twice now.
Yes, and
when she didn't have to be.
Nope, and we
pretty freaking awesome.
We've got a 3rd one scheduled if we can ever get calendars worked out. So hopefully that's one that drops in 2024. So,
yeah,
but there's that situation, and now you can listen to and watch. And I'm not saying his name on purpose. The guy that killed Rebecca, his confession, the entire confession from Oregon is on YouTube. So I think you can even go on Buchholz's YouTube page, and I think it's like Buchholz PI. Anyway, if you search Buchholz Rebecca Gould, her channel comes up on YouTube. And so that's where you can find all these videos. But that whole confession and how at the time, the new state police investigator and the polygraph examiner kind of worked together to get him to confess is brilliant. But there's a lot of stuff where he contradicts himself. And that's where, if you do this long enough, you start looking at angles when people confess or when people start talking. And I think that's where, we're still at with this case. So moving out of the great state of Arkansas and into the whiskey capital of the world, Bardstown, Kentucky, with our man on the street, Heater, who's been keeping us abreast of not only the funniest memes out there, but the Crystal Rogers case, man. We've had some updates in it. They finally made an arrest in that case, and good old boyfriend Brooks Hawk, he got arrested, and I think they got his brother here late. I think his brother was arrested after he was. Now, Crystal's mom, who is the only surviving member, has filed a lawsuit against Brooks in civil court. One of Brooks's friends, I think he was the first arrest, and I think old boy dropped a dime on Brooks. And now I will say this, they are playing this kind of like they are the case in Indiana about the two girls. They're playing everything slow and close to the vest. They're not about to jeopardize it, the Delphi murders. So things are slowly happening.
Are we already past Crystal Rogers?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just saying the authorities in the Crystal Rogers case are playing it like the Delphi case. They're playing it slow. They're not letting anything out.
Now, do they think that these all are her disappearance is connected with the other murders that were happening in Bardstown?
They think the last time
the cop that was killed, that was executed, Crystal Rogers' father.
The father and Crystal, they do think are connected. I've not heard about whether they've tied it to the cop. And then the other one, there was a body found further out in the county that we covered at the time. I'm not so sure they've tied it to that. What I think they're looking for is they're trying to nail his ass down on her case, and then they'll start going after her. So basically, you've got Brooks Hawk, which was her boyfriend at the time and the father to one of her children. He's been charged with murder and tampering of physical evidence. Earlier, you had Joseph Lawson, who was arrested in Nelson County and charged with conspiracy to commit murder and tampering with physical evidence in this case. And then just recently, you have Stephen Lawson, who was charged with tampering with physical evidence and conspiracy to murder. They've not said they've gone after Brooks's brother, but I'm pretty sure that's coming. According to the FBI, they're starting to dot every I and cross every T. So we know that the original arraignment, there was a huge deal with the bail money and how Brooks's family could drop the $1 million bail money, and his attorneys were trying to get it reduced.
They said it's bond for like $10 million. So yeah, you'd have to put up $1 million up front. Now, I don't know what kind of family you got, but I know my family can't put up no $1 million.
No, they'd have to. They'd be like, "Sorry, boy, we can send you a file and a flashlight and see if you can break out."
Yeah. Good luck. Best of luck to you.
Yeah. Now, at Brooks's arraignment, the prosecutor Shane Young said that investigators had recovered a gun that Brooks's brother had sold under an assumed name that could be a match for the murder weapon in the killing of Tommy Ballard. So that's how they're tying that up. Now, they still have a $10,000 reward for information leading to the identification, arrest, and conviction of those responsible for Tommy's death. Brooks has been officially charged in Crystal's case. I think they're going to tie the brother to Tommy's case, and then they're going to play them off each other. I don't know.
That's not a bad plan.
No, that's what I'm saying, man. They're really doing their due diligence. When this all went down, there was some corruption allegations thrown around in that county. I can say that the sheriff at the time, or the chief of police, I know he was chief of police. He is a stand-up guy, so there was no corruption in his department. But there has been some things said that how the Hawks' money kind of rules the roost. Did you hear that?
No.
That one shook the fucking windows. We got some dumbass down the corner. Yeah, we got some dumbass down the corner. Got a case of Tannerite for Christmas. That's about the 10th explosion that we've heard since about 1 o'clock, and it's 4:30 right now. So, yeah.
I did not hear it. It did not make the air.
So you may be asking yourself, who's Joseph Lawson? Well, he was a friend of Brooks Hawk and his brother. He's 53, and he was actually an employee of the Hawks. And they own a couple of businesses out there. So, you know, there's been several searches. They searched Granny's house for the gun. There was a bunch of shit. If you watch the Oxygen Network, cadaver dogs were sent out looking for potential burial sites of Crystal. So again, you've got the whole gamut. If all of this is new to you, I suggest watching that Oxygen Network. I think it's a 4 or 5 part docuseries on it. They do a tremendous job. And then, of course, you can listen to our lovely, I think we did 3 or 4.
We did a 3-parter on our Bardstown. So if you're going to look for Crystal Rogers' case, you won't find it. But if you look for Bardstown, we talk about a bunch of cases in Bardstown.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and that's how we got all that. That's how we got to know Peter.
That's right, man.
He was looking us up and found Bardstown, and he stuck with us. And he's a great asset to our organization.
Yes, he is. So we've got, Coach kind of alluded to it, the Delphi murders. We've not covered that case.
Yeah, sorry. I knew that was coming next. I don't know. I went daydreaming, and I thought we'd skipped over Crystal Rogers.
He went rogue. He went rogue.
I was like, man, you're supposed to stretch this out.
You're killing me, Smalls.
But anyway, the Delphi murders we've not covered it just because True Crime Garage, Nick in that case has kind of become one of the go-to internet sleuths.
Yeah, he's like an expert on it.
I think he's written a book and stuff, and so we can't do it justice. And people get mad at us all the time. I want to hear y'all's take on JonBenet Ramsey. And I'm like, it's been beat to death.
Yeah.
I mean, we could cover it, but we're not going to say anything new.
Well, if you don't know what the Delphi murders are, it's 2 girls, Liberty German and, what was the other girl's name? Anyway, 2 girls get dropped off to take a little hike, and they go across a bridge, walking on train tracks, and they take a video of a man following them, and then they get audio of a man telling them to go down the hill.
Abby Williams.
And, yeah, there it is. And they are later found murdered. So clearly this guy was involved.
The stunning new details in the Delphi.
Hopefully they found him.
Yeah, and they think that Richard Allen is his name, and he's been charged with the murders of Abby Williams and Libby German.
And it's like, it's so pointless. What happened is so pointless. Like, why? Why murder just 2 girls randomly out of nowhere? You're just that evil and that bloodthirsty that you just, hey, now's my chance. I'm taking it. Doesn't make any sense.
They have interviewed him a couple of times over the course of the case, and he had admitted to, he was on the trail, but he had nothing to do with it. And so when the arrest was made, it was a huge break in the case. And I think with a lot of the cases we cover, authorities knew he was responsible. They just needed that one piece of evidence. What's crazy about his arrest is one of the arraignments where I think it was a motion to accept evidence or something along those lines. His 2 attorneys just fucking up and quit. And they're not public defenders, so that remains a huge question mark in the case. No one knows, or at least I've not seen.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know why they quit.
If your defense attorneys quit, you're pretty much you're guilty. They're like, I can't lie enough for you. Like, this is not possible.
And
I know we're all innocent until proven guilty, but it's not looking good for you, buddy.
Yeah, it's basically saying that it was just hours after filing a motion begging the judge not to throw one of them off the case over leaked evidence.
Oh, snap. Oh, well, okay. Maybe it was leaked evidence is why they quit.
Richard Allen Richard Allen is the murderer, but the two attorneys, Andrew Baldwin and Brad Rosie, basically submitted a motion to Special Judge Francie Gull on behalf of Baldwin, arguing that he should not be thrown off the case over the sealed crime scene photos that were leaked from his office. The motion submitted by the Indiana defense attorney David Hennessy asserted that the evidence was only leaked because Baldwin, quote, trusted a friend to respect his office space, and that was betrayed. But anyway, old boy that they arrested is not looking good. If you look at his mugshot compared to what he looks like now, prison has not been kind to him, and he's not even been convicted yet. He's just awaiting trial. So you've got that one coming up in 2024. You've got the Crystal Rogers. They're saying it could be as long as 2025 before Crystal Rogers comes to court. We may post this picture of the three that got arrested, but one of them, anyway, I'm not.
Holy hell. How long have I been muted?
Since you fucked up if your attorneys quit.
Oh my God. I'm sitting here talking. I didn't even hit the button. I don't know what happened. Anyway, I was going to say, you said his mugshot about prison not being kind to him. If I follow a Facebook page that shows all the local people getting arrested in my town, man, there was one kid, he was bawling his eyes out in his mugshot. And I'm like, that's not a good look, bro. Like, you're a kid, yeah, but if you're going to put you in lockup, you need to dry it up, man. They're going to eat you alive in there. And then I looked up his charges, and it was like possession of a firearm, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, possession of paraphernalia, possession of methamphetamines with the intent to distribute, possession of this, possession of that. And then at the bottom of all these long-ass felony charges was possession of tobacco by a minor.
Ooh, that's kind of like when they get you for Dewey, they get you for illegal lane change or something.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
I've thought to myself, if I was sitting in the cell with him, I'd be like, hey, man, don't worry. They'll probably drop that one.
Oh, that's great. All right, so closing it out with cases in 2023 that have kind of seen some traction. The old Gypsy Rose Blanchard. She was released from prison.
And, like, it sucks. You know what happened? Like, the whole story is terrible. If you don't know, look it up. She was tricked by her mother for years to say she was basically on death's door, and she wasn't. But she convinced some dude. She got online, got her an online boyfriend, convinced him to murder her, and he did. Now she's out and married.
Yeah,
but not married to him.
No, and he's
in jail forever.
She's been released 3 years earlier than her original release date. Yeah, man, it's and she took a selfie basically of her in a hotel room after she's cleared.
Look, it's a terrible situation. She shouldn't have went through what she went through. A lot of people have mixed emotions about whether or not she was guilty of what she did or if the mom deserved it. I'm not here to get into all that. I'm just saying it's terrible that she convinced a dude to kill her mother, and that dude's in prison for the rest of his life, but she's out and married and happy. That's not fair.
Yeah, the Today Show, Today.com said...
Considering that boy's got a learning disability too,
Yes, that's what I think is a travesty in this case. But the same day that Gypsy Rose was photographed in public for the first time since her release, she appeared to be shopping with her husband, Ryan Scott Anderson, 37, whom she reportedly married in 2022 while she was still in prison. Asked by the paparazzi if she had any immediate plans for the future, she turned around and said, yes, lots of them, and turned back around and walked off.
She's got a ticket to the Chiefs game. She wants to meet Taylor Swift.
Well, she is from Chillicothe.
I read that. I'm not kidding.
She was sentenced in 2016 to 10 years in her role for the murder of her mother, Dee Dee Blanchard. And her boyfriend at the time, Nicholas Gojon, was the one that stabbed Dee Dee to death. Gypsy.
I'm just saying, Dee Dee kind of deserved it. I hate to say that. Nobody really deserves to be murdered, but that's pretty close to being deserving of being murdered. She did some awful things to her daughter.
Yes, she did. And the problem is it's a classic case of Munchausen by proxy, but
absolutely,
it's kind of like racketeering in the criminal world. It's very hard to prove Munchausen by proxy. And I think the allegations had been made. She had been just so mentally abused and exploited by her mother that she did, convince her at the time boyfriend to kill her. Now, I didn't know this, but there was a limited series on Hulu starring Joey King and Patricia Arquette about her case. So
I knew about it, but I never watched it.
I hadn't either. If you are interested,
Dead and Dearest or something, or is that the name of the documentary?
It doesn't say in this. Anyway, I don't know. But I'm sure if you get on Hulu, you can figure it out. So we've got going back to the boyfriend. He was sentenced to life in prison after pleading not guilty. Supposedly, he did the deed while Gypsy Rose hid in the bathroom. She basically made a deal with the Greene County prosecutor, who took into account, he said, the abuse that she had suffered, and for her to basically turn against the boyfriend. And so she pled guilty to second-degree murder. There's the Mommy, Dad, and Dearest, which was on HBO, and that's the documentary.
That's the documentary,
okay. Investigation Discovery did Gypsy's Revenge, a 2-hour special on it, and then Hulu did an 8-part thing on it. It doesn't say what it's called. I guess they're not going to. Anyway, Lifetime also did a movie dramatizing the case, Love You to Death. It might be The Act. It might be the Hulu thing, because it doesn't every time. Right. It doesn't say Hulu's, but it
is The Act.
Okay, so if this is a case that I just can't, man. I cannot stand for parents to use their children in any sort of financial gain or notoriety or any of that shit. I don't know. I just don't want to entertain the whole thing, but those are the things that we had kind of piecemealed together. We're still on the holiday buzz. Like I said, we're recording this the Friday before New Year's. So we'll be.
I'm going gambling, bro.
Yeah, you
did. I'm going to spend my New Year's in Mississippi.
The Arkansas True Crime Fest is
in 8 years.
This thing loves to just cut open on me. I think it's been moved to August the 1st, which I know you're still off. Me and the old wife is trying to figure out how to do it.
Oh, if it's August 1st, I'm there, man. I got no issue.
Yeah, so I'll probably have to drive out late Thursday, get up. Stupid. But anyway, we'll figure that out. But hopefully we can get there. I'm slowly building up our merchandise, our stickers, and our magnets. And
I got to get hoodies still. I haven't even got a hoodie.
Well, you got to order it there, dick.
I know. I'm saying. I got to get on top of that. I got to order it. Thanks for reminding me, dick.
If y'all can think of anything that you would like to see on our online store, please let us know. I know that everyone's feeling the pinch when it comes to the pocketbook and not splurging on items. I will say I've not emailed everyone. We were looking at doing a T-shirt run again with some different designs, and I was about to be sitting on about 90 T-shirts.
Yeah.
And but the 7 that
we got to order 100 minimum, guys. So 10 people order them. Sorry.
Yeah. So the 10 of you that did express interest, I am working on getting yours kind of to you. I hope to send out an email specifically to those individuals this week, at least, if not this week, the week of New Year's, to get some details on how to ship and where to ship and things like that. We do have, like I said, we've got some magnets. We've got some more decals. We're working on some other designs as well. So, but like I promised, we can go top 5 things that you enjoy Christmas meal wise. So if you want to go traditional, like sides, we get into a huge argument. Not me and you, but like people in general get into an argument about, do you go traditional turkey, ham, and then if you go turkey, are you smoking? Are you deep frying? Are you baking and basting? And
you can't go wrong with any of that.
No, I'll take any of it. I do love a deep fried turkey, but the price of peanut oil is fucking outrageous, and so I've not had one in quite some time because you can buy a turkey and smoke it a hell of a lot cheaper than you can fry one.
Yeah. When you also look at the box that you buy, the 912 gallons of peanut oil, and it's like 425 calories a serving. 2 teaspoons is a serving, and there's 785 servings. It was like, good Lord.
Yeah, they like their peanut oil.
Of course, you don't drink it. I mean, you don't eat all that oil. There's a whole lot left over.
Yeah, but there's some of it infused into that bird. It just makes it just not healthy.
It is good. I'm not going to lie. It is good.
No, I will 100% agree with you. It is amazing. But I've got the case of the All right, so let's go sides. I'll start it off. I am a big, if we're going traditional, I love dressing / stuffing, whatever you want to call it. Wherever you from, what you do. Squash casserole. Love me some squash casserole.
Well, it's dressing unless you can't call it stuffing unless it's stuffed up that bird's ass.
Well, that is true, but there are some.
My mom used to do that, and it was awesome. Like she'd bake the turkey with dressing with stuffing all around it, and then inside of it.
She go cornbread stuffing.
Oh yeah, man! It was so good. It was so good.
My wife does stuffing for Thanksgiving, and I eat the shit out of it.
Yeah, it's something it's sad because I'll never have it again, ever. But man, it's such a good memory. I loved it.
So my wife has found a to die for mac and cheese recipe. So I'm going mac and cheese.
You gotta go mac and cheese.
I gotta go mashed taters. But I really, if you're from the South, we call them cream potatoes because we beat the shit out of them potatoes and put a hell of a lot of butter and sour cream in them.
I'm going to go with rolls. You got to have good rolls. Crescent rolls or something like that.
Some good yeast rolls?
Because you got to...
Sop up that gravy.
You eat all that shit. Well, yeah, have we not mentioned gravy yet? I'm going to put gravy ahead of rolls, but I'm already said roll. But you eat your big-ass plate of food, and then about 2 hours later, you go make you a little makeshift sandwich with what's left in your plate.
That's right, man. And if you were like my granddaddy, you would eat your plate, you would go get dessert, and he would have coffee with his dessert. And it could be anything from pecan pie, sweet potato pie, pumpkin pie, you name it. Then the man was going to have some dessert. And then he would finish it off with one small piece of ham to get that sweetness out of his mouth.
I'll tell you, like, what I was in my youth and when my mama was alive, I was full before the food got on the table. I'd come in, but hey, y'all need anything? Anything needs to be, and then I just gank a bunch of turkey off the freaking bone, they turn around and this beautiful turkey's got a leg missing all of a sudden.
Now, that is one thing I will say, that for Thanksgiving or anytime I smoke turkeys here lately, I have to pull both legs from my father. He loves a good smoked turkey leg.
It's never been Thanksgiving again, truly, because I haven't been hit with a spatula
That's true.
hard in my hands since my mama passed.
Yeah.
But man, every Thanksgiving she made, I'm telling you, I had hard, like red knuckles.
But it was worth it.
Oh yeah, it was worth it every time. It was notorious. Like they started hitting me before I'd even get in the kitchen. It was at one point,
Dang.
and I'd have to fight my way through.
He's running the gauntlet, grabbing a leg. So, if we go non-traditional, here lately, we've been doing, last couple of years, maybe 10 years, really off and on, smoking a pork butt and just having barbecue with, my wife makes an exceptional potato salad with red potatoes and onions and blue cheese crumbles. Man, it's fucking amazing. And then you got your traditional mustard-based potato salad if you want it. We got some beans. Got your beans in there.
I don't eat potato salad. Anything with the word salad in it, I don't eat. Pasta salad, potato salad, egg salad, salad. Not for me.
But that's what we've been doing non-traditional wise. And then this year last year for Christmas, I smoked a turkey and a pork butt. This year I had a brisket. One of them 12-pounders I smoked.
Dude, brisket is amazing. I was starving last night after jiu-jitsu, so we stopped at Buc-ee's.
Did you get one of them sandwiches?
Yeah, we purposely stopped to get the sandwich. That's the only reason why we stopped there. I don't really get the whole love affair with Buc-ee's. Like, it's just a big convenience store. They don't even carry Pepsi products.
That's fucked up.
They don't carry Powerade. They don't carry Pepsi. Well, they might have Pepsi, but they don't have Powerade. They don't have Starry. They have none of that. They just carry Coke products.
That's
like,
crazy.
how you going to be a convenience store if you've been bought out by one of the corporations to only sell their drinks?
Yeah, that's not right.
But
now, they do have the best damn gummy bears around.
I've never had them.
They are good. Don't get the 12 flavored one because it comes with like a pineapple flavor and you'll gag on that bastard.
Well, I'm trying to cut out some carbs, trying to lose a little weight. I've gained a little bit too much. I need to get back down to my fighting weight because I plan on going to Worlds in September. Try to win me a Jiu-Jitsu World Championship. But
you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
We stopped there. Well, I mean, I got third at purple, man. Maybe I can get first at brown belt. Anywho,
stopped at the Buc-ee's.
Yeah, got me a brisket sandwich. It's just run-of-the-mill brisket, but man, it was so good.
I think that's their claim to fame, I think, was their brisket sandwiches, and then they had some kind of like fried chicken sandwich. From what I can gather, they took a Tyrannosaurus Rex turkey breast, chicken breast, whatever you want to call it, deep fried that son of a bitch and stuck it between two buns, and like you could have a whole meal and never touch the bun. So,
yeah, I just ate the brisket. I threw the bread away.
Look at you going Atkins, old school guy.
I know, I'm trying to be good. Girlfriend decided we need to diet. She decided 2 days before Christmas we're going on diet. I was like, no.
No, how about the day after Christmas?
Yeah, like maybe the day after Christmas or the day after New Year's, but no, not Christmas. Well, I'm telling you my favorite thing that reminds me of Christmas from my childhood, because everything we talk about traditional wise is basically Thanksgiving. You know, sometimes you have it on Christmas, sometimes you don't. It don't really matter. But I'll tell you what, my mom's mom, my grandmother did for years and years and years, and still to this day, I miss it. And I've done it a few times since she's passed. She's been gone since 2007, so I've done it a few years, but I need to do it more. I need to do it again. She knew that people were going to other places for big meals, you know, so she'd set out like finger foods and stuff like that, but she would get sandwiches. She'd go to the deli, not to package stuff. She'd get it sliced from the deli. She'd get turkey. She'd get ham. She'd get roast beef. She'd get salami. She'd get 4 or 5 different kinds of cheeses. 2 or 3 different types of bread and like 3 or 4 different types of mustard and mayonnaise, stuff like that. And man, that just hits home.
It does, because my in-laws did that one year. I think we got together late for some reason, but they got a meat and cheese tray from...
Oh, I love charcuterie boards. Love them.
Oh, yeah.
Meat and cheese plates. Come on, bro.
We had that at their 50th wedding anniversary, and I think I ate more of that than I did the main meal. But no, those sandwich trays. And we went to a Christmas party this year, and if any of you have an Ingles near you, they have pre-packaged sandwich trays, and it comes with like 3 different cheeses. Like Coach said, it doesn't come with like salami, but you get the ham, turkey, roast beef, something. I think there's 4 meats. And then and then they did an hors d'oeuvre tray, kind of like a charcuterie board, because it had like little smoked wieners on there. But you're right though, man. It's so simple. It's just, and it's different. I think that's why everybody kind of remembers it. It's just not, oh God, I got to eat another damn traditional dinner. Because when I was a kid, we had 3 that we had to go to. So by the 3rd one, you're just like, do I have to eat her dressing too? But anyway, I will say.
Brother, let me tell you, when I tell you I made, my mama used to call it a Dagwood, from Archie comics. But I'll tell you, I'd make a dang sandwich so big, barely hold the thing. It'd take me like 4 or 5 tries to eat it all in the course of several hours, man. I would put a pornographically large amount of meat and cheese on that sandwich.
Did you run over it with your car to flatten it down a little bit?
No, I just hammered down on it.
We got to talking about this last night. Me and my bro did. If you go with, I know, like salami and pepperoni, them big old pepperonis and salami, and you get what's that other one? Capicola. And then get yourself a Foreman grill, and then make you a hot press sandwich. Man, that's some good eats right there. And join us next week when we have recipe brews. We'll just share recipes. Now, we have hijacked the shit out of this on food, but I can talk about food anytime, and that's one thing that I do with my kids. I think I've said it on here during class. If we've got dead time, son, we're playing Would You Rather, and it's always based around food, or come up with one's got to go out of 3, and then watch all hell break loose when they start defending which one's got to die. And it's great. It is the best thing to do. If you are a teacher, try that shit. If you got some downtime, it is comic gold. I mean, they are adamant about we always do fast food restaurants. But anyway, so Coach,
I'm not a big fan of many fast food restaurants anymore.
I'm not either. I wish Popeyes would get their shit together.
Taco Bell is great. Popeyes is great, but every time I go, they're like, oh, well, currently we don't have this, we don't have this.
Lavelle Crawford has the best bit on that. If you've not seen Lavelle Crawford's bit on Popeyes, he says, as soon as you open the door, we out of spicy, we out of mild, we out of honey mustard. The bathroom ain't worked in 7 years. We ain't got no beans.
Seriously. I mean, I get it. It's fried chicken. It takes a lot to make it, but come on.
It's like that. There's I guess a TikTok video. It's Jeff Bridges. I can't think of the name of the movie, but it's him and his deputy, and they walk into this restaurant.
Oh, yeah. Like, what don't you want?
That's basically what I want to do when I walk into Popeyes. What don't you have?
Yeah. He said, what don't you want? You either don't want green beans or you don't want corn on the cob. He said, everybody orders T-bone steak except for this one feller who ordered trout. Some feller from the north that ordered trout. Does it look like we serve damn trout in here?
She's grizzled too, and she goes, 2 T-bone steaks, medium rare. And he goes, I'll take mine medium well.
Medium rare.
Yeah, she just corrects him. And sweet tea to drink, right? Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, they're like, sweet tea sounds fine.
Oh.
But yeah, no, I've been to Popeyes at like, the Popeyes in Calhoun close at 11 p.m. I've come rolling in there after jiu-jitsu about 8:15, and they're like, all we have is chicken tender.
And I bet they ain't spicy.
And like, excuse me? They're like, all we got left is chicken tenders. I'm like, you don't close for 2 hours and 45 minutes. They're like, that's a horrible business model.
I could understand if you're not cooking anything fresh after 9:15, or you can cook it to order. That's my thing. Like the Bojangles around here cooks to order.
Well, I get it. It's bone-in chicken. It's probably not. If it's fresh, it's going to take a minute. But, geez. You going to tell me you ain't got nothing left 2 hours and 45 minutes before you close?
Somebody need their ass whooped. I mean, who leaves a damn swallow orange juice in the bottle?
Hey, get up and swallow it, bitch.
I mean, it just don't make no damn sense. You just leave one. I got my mouth all set for some orange juice and there's just one swallow in the bottle. You blind, you crippled bitch.
If you haven't seen Harlem Nights, you gotta watch it, man. Just between them, those like you need to talk. You go, you shut up, you dumb bitch. You need to go apologize to her.
I know, that's the best part. You hurt her feelings, and she's in there dog because it ain't got no hash and eggs.
She's really sensitive. You need to know that. He's like, shut up, bitch.
And Richard Pryor's over there dying laughing during I don't know how any of them kept in character, but anyway.
No.
Well, yeah, closing out
Night, that's a good recommendation. I'm not going to recommend that as my recommendation, but I do recommend that off the record.
I found here's another pet peeve of mine. Everybody and their fucking mother now has an app, a streaming app, and so AMC Plus has this series called Dark Winds. It's about a Navajo police officer that kind of uncovers some crazy shit on the reservation back in the 70s, and for some reason, like a dumbass, I watched the pilot episode and because it was free, and I'm thinking, it'll suck. Well, no, I'm invested, so now I'm up for like an 8-day trial on AMC Plus.
Well, when it runs out, I'll give you a password. My sister just got it like 2 days ago. No bullshit, yeah. She got it for all the Walking Dead stuff, but she gave me the password.
That makes sense.
Because I'll be honest with you, I've been watching Brockmire over again. Have you ever watched that? Hank Azaria is a major league broadcaster.
Oh, yeah. I've watched a couple of them.
Yeah, bad alcoholic, drug addict. It's hilarious, though.
But anyway, that was going to be my recommendation, was that Dark Winds. There's 2 seasons. I'm 3 episodes into the first season. It's very good. Like, but you have to, it's kind of a niche series. Either I feel like either you're gonna like it or you don't. So, and I know I got a lot of damn hate when I said I gave up on Outer Range 6 episodes in.
I was about to say Outer Range is great. I was about to say that independently. I was like, it sounds like Outer Range.
It is. There's some mysterious shit going on, but there's also some I had forgotten about how shitty we treated the First Nation people, even back in the 70s.
Oh, really? You forgot?
I did. I mean, I just, out of sight, out of mind kind of bullshit. But I knew that but it was still, I guess I hadn't fully understood that it was still going on in the late 70s, which hell, I was 5 years old, so I wouldn't have known.
What was it? It was the 60s, maybe the 70s when one of the First Nations took over Alcatraz.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. Well, I don't remember it. I remember seeing archival footage of it.
Yeah. Yeah, they took over Alcatraz in protest.
But anyway.
Which is a bold strategy, Cotton.
It didn't work out well.
It rarely does.
Rarely does. There was a little bit of snow flurries down here in North Georgia today.
Like I said, I ain't been outside. I wouldn't even know.
I hope you have to go out at midnight and it's 28 degrees to walk the dog.
I will. I'll have to make up for it because I didn't go out earlier.
You're sorry. Today. You're sorry ass.
I'll do it, man. I do my part.
Anyway, so this is what you get when we do not have a script to go by. You get just us rambling. So,
well, Lord, I was born a rambling man.
That's what I heard. I heard you were.
So I'm just trying to make terrible. Doing the best I can.
Surprise, motherfucker.
That'll make
Man,
all.
speaking of which, speaking of that surprise motherfucker, I gave up so hard on that show.
Dexter?
It sucks, man.
Which season did you
Yeah.
make it to?
I made it to I was trying to make it to the John Lithgow season, but I can't get through I think it's the 4th season. It is just terrible.
I gave up after Lithgow. The Lithgow season, he's an evil motherfucker in that one. It's pretty good.
That's what I hear. That's what I heard was he was so good in it.
He is.
So I tried to make it, but I just can't get through it, man. It's
Well,
so
you ain't going to
stupid.
miss anything if you jump ahead. Don't watch the reboot. They shit the bed on it, is what I heard.
Well, I ain't watching that shit either.
All right, so what was I going to say?
I think you're going to say recommendations.
Yeah, but I've already made my recommendation. What's your recommendation?
Oh, yeah, you did, didn't you? I'm going to recommend a podcast. I have not, I'll be honest with you, I have not listened to it yet. It's on my agenda for the rest of the day. I'm going to be listening to it. But I just want to keep her case out there and people aware of it. It is Silent Holler. And it is the December 28th episode, Missing Keeslyn Roberts.
Oh, there you go.
In my hometown. She is still missing. He's the one that was at the Flying J, high on drugs, went out the wrong door, and was never seen again.
Yeah. If you are into the UAP Skinwalker Ranch stuff, Jeremy Corbell and the old guy that interviewed Bob Lazar, I can't think of his name, they have a podcast called Weaponized. It is pretty good. You just have to pick and choose topics, though. George, what's his name? George something. George Knapp. So George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell, who did the documentary about Bob Lazar, Area 51, and UFOs. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is our wrap-up episode. This is probably the first one we've done since we've been going off the cuff. Everybody's busy. Like I said, we're recording this on a Friday afternoon before New Year's. So, again, we've got some cases coming up. Hopefully, we can get some things lined up with Miss Buchholz and get her back on again with her other endeavors. I know she's been very busy. And then we've got a slew of cases up there. Remember, user requests. Get first bidding. We'll bump that shit up to the week of if we have to. So if you have a case that you would love to hear us cover, let us know. We did. I will say this. I am surprised we had a little bit of love on our Christmas cryptids. But what's just amazing to me is the fact that Summer Wells was a recommended case, and man, that thing has exploded.
Really?
Between the 3 parts, each part is over 1,100 downloads / listens. So that is our big winner so far for this year is the Summer Wells case. Any of those kind of cases, if there's something that you know about that you want us to talk about, let us know. We are looking at the old Oconee County, South Carolina fuckery afoot out there. We're probably going to cover that sometime early. So, again, thank y'all for your kind words, your donations, all of our Patreon patrons. We greatly appreciate this. Your money every month.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So, but, Coach, you got anything else for the great people out in podcast land?
Well, I don't know when you're releasing this, but I hope everybody has a great new year and keeps being blessed. There you go.
Yeah, blessed. It's a hard word for him.
I couldn't think of a good word to say. No, it wasn't the fact I couldn't think of that word. I just couldn't think of a good word to say it. I hope all the good things in life happen to you and everybody else like you.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Deuces.